All right, we need to talk about rest. But I'm not talking about just, stopping. I'm talking about the kind of rest that makes you better, sharper, and way more effective. We're going to explore how to rest so well that it actually makes you dangerous.
So let me just ask you something. When you finally get a second to yourself, are you really switched off? Or are you kind of resting with one eye on your email, one eye on your to-do list, always feeling that nagging pull that you should be doing something else?
If that sounds at all familiar, you are definitely not alone. The hard truth is, most of us rest like we're criminals. We're like hiding from our own responsibilities, feeling guilty for taking 5 minutes, as if we're stealing time that we haven't earned.
I mean, just look at this disconnect, right? We say we're taking a break, but really, we're just doom scrolling through some kind of digital purgatory. We say we're winding down, but it feels more like a guilty little secret. And relaxing. Oh, that just feels like another task on the to-do list that we're totally failing at. It is just exhausting.
Okay, but what if we just flipped this whole idea on its head? What if rest wasn't an escape from our work, but a crucial part of our work? What if it wasn't about slamming on the brakes, but about pulling into the pit stop to refuel and tune up the engine for the next lap?
To really get this, to really see what I mean, we've got to look at a classic story. It's called The Parable of the Two Lumberjacks.
So the setup is super simple. You've got these two expert lumberjacks, and they're in a competition. They have one day from sunrise to sunset to see who can chop the most wood. Winner gets cash and, of course, some serious bragging rights.
Okay, so the first lumberjack, he's an absolute machine, just swinging that axe nonstop, sweat flying everywhere. He's gonna win through pure brute force. But the second lumberjack, he does something kind of weird. Every single hour, like clockwork, he stops, puts his axe down, and just rests for 10 minutes.
Now, the first guy, he can hear the chopping from the other side of the forest, stop and start all day long. And he's kind of smirking to himself thinking, what an idiot. Every time he rests, I'm getting further ahead. So when the sun finally sets, who do you think has the bigger pile of wood?
It was the guy who took the breaks. And he didn't just win, he won by a landslide. So the first guy, totally exhausted and confused, he goes over and asks him, how? How did you do it? I never stopped. And the winner gives this incredible reply. Oh, every time I sat down, I wasn't just resting, I was sharpening my axe.
That one line, I was sharpening my axe, that reveals everything. This isn't just some clever productivity hack. This is a mindset. It is a fundamental act of rebellion. You could even call it a punk rock move in a world that just wants you to keep chopping no matter how dull your axe gets.
And this is what we call dangerous rest. It's not passive, it's proactive. It's not about zoning out, it's totally strategic. See, the goal isn't to run away from your work. The goal is to build up the energy and the focus to be even better at it. It's literally about taking the time to sharpen your axe. Because let's be real for a second. The modern world, with all its hustle culture, it doesn't see you as a craftsman who needs to maintain their tools. Oh no. It often sees you as something very different.
A productivity algorithm in a trench coat. I mean, how perfect is that quote? It just nails that dehumanizing pressure to be always on, always optimized, always producing. And dangerous rest, well, that's the rebellion against that. It's you standing up and saying, nope, I am not an algorithm. I'm a lumberjack, and my axe is getting dull.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we go from that guilty, criminal rest to this powerful, dangerous rest? Let's break down how you can actually start sharpening your own axe.
It really comes down to 3 steps. First, you've just got to acknowledge the guilt. Just see it, call it what it is, and realize it's a bug in the system, not a flaw in you. Second, you have to actively reframe your rest. You tell yourself, this isn't lazy, this is strategy. And third, and this is key, you have to schedule it. Literally put sharpen axe in your calendar. And then you protect that time like it's the most important meeting of the day. Because it is.
Look, if you take away only one thing from this, let it be this. We have got to kill this idea that rest is the opposite of work. It is not. Useless, guilty rest might be, but effective, dangerous rest, that's not laziness, it's leverage. It is the most powerful leverage you have. It's what lets you do more with way better focus and less burnout for the long haul.
So I'm going to leave you with this question. Right now, today, in your work, in your life, your axe is getting a little bit duller with every single swing. The question isn't if you need to stop and sharpen it. The only question is, when are you going to?